Hey, what's up, everyone? This is MugenLord here, and today I want to talk about the newly announced Steam machine, or I would say the Steam hardware initiative that's been announced by Steam themselves. They came out of nowhere with this. They just slapped it on everybody and said, hey, have a good day. And now everyone is talking about it. And I really wanted to get my thoughts and opinions on it because lately I've been thinking about what the possible future is going to be for gaming, especially next generation gaming. We talked about in the previous video of what I would want from the PlayStation 6 and what I would want from the next Xbox if they want me to be on board with their next hardware, because this generation of hardware was just underwhelming. It was just garbage, just trash. The exclusives weren't that great, and we barely got really in exclusives from either consoles. And then on top of that, this we got more remasters and remakes. This felt more like a filler season of an anime than ever before. And we talked about this and we discussed this before. But I always had in my head, I always asked this question of what the landscape could possibly look like moving into next generation hardware. What is this battle going to be like? And I was always thinking in the sense of, could we possibly be going towards the handheld hybrid console direction with the next generation of gaming? I actually made a whole topic discussion on a live stream about it, and I have it in my archives. So if you're interested and want to go check that out, definitely check it out. Where I asked you guys, could that possibly be the direction that we're going? But after seeing the announcement of the Steam machine and their hardware plan that they have moving forward, I think I have a clear idea of where we could possibly be going for the next generation of gaming, and that's the PC slash console hybrid direction that we're going to be going as far as gaming is concerned, which is going to be quite interesting because the major problem was to try to get PC gaming as accessible as possible in the homes of the regular casual gamer. Because the problem is PC is where to game. Everybody, you can just admit that now, that gaming is where is on the PC is the superior experience. But there's always roadblocks as far as hardware is concerned. Upgrading your PC, spending the amount of money to get the rig or to get the type of experience that you want. Now I know there's some PC heads that say, "Oh, that's not true. You can get better build, create a build like this," and then no, but that's not the point. Gamers want convenience. With consoles gave gamers that convenience. Hey, I just buy the console. I know this console's going to last me for the next couple of years, and bam, I don't got to worry about upgrading anything. And then we start having those mid-generation consoles of like the PS5 Pro or the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X and stuff like that. But you didn't have to do those upgrades. They weren't essential. You can still game on your base console. They're getting it more expensive, but they're not giving us superior experiences. I talked about it in my last video. There's no way in the world that I'm paying damn near almost $700 or damn near $1,000 and my games are still running at 30 frames per second. Or I have to choose between quality or performance. And in my case, I'm always going to choose performance over quality, visual quality. I need my frame rate to be as seamless as possible. And I'm saying that there's no way in the world that we're paying all this money and we can't get that quality. We have to make sacrifices. So now, in order for us to make that next step, we have to start allowing these consoles to be closer to PCs more than ever before. But there's going to be a cost to it, and the cost is the price itself. We're going to be spending a lot more money. And I think this is what something that Sarah Bond was pretty much preparing Xbox gamers for. That yes, there will be a next Xbox, but this next Xbox expected to be a PC hybrid console, but expected to be around like $1,200 or even more. So they're already preparing gamers to get in their head that, yo, this next generation of consoles are going to be much more expensive. And I think with the Steam machine, I think the Steam machine itself has pretty much solidified that. Now, I'm not saying that the Steam machine itself is going to be super expensive, but what I'm saying is that now we're going to be going more, if we want that quality experience or that next boost compared to what we got with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, these consoles want to start leaning more into that PC territory. But if we are going to lean into that PC territory, it still has to be streamlined in a way where casuals or regular people can accept it, adopt it as if it's a console. It has to still be streamlined. And looking at the Steam hardware initiative, I think they probably got it. Now, as I said before, back then, the gaming industry wasn't ready for Steam. And I would also say the same thing when it came to the Xbox One and the future plans with the Xbox One, the DRM, always online, and all those other type of things that we're doing that the gaming industry or gamers weren't ready for it. They were moving too fast. But it seemed like now that we're at in this point in gaming, that gaming has finally caught up with Steam. And now with people who pretty much turned their nose away from the original Steam machines back in the day, will probably be more likely open to it, since if you look at Steam as a platform has gained more and more gamers over time. It's one of the most popular gaming platforms on the face of this planet right now. There's a lot of gamers playing on Steam. And now that we had any more of a digital era, there's more gamers that will be more than likely adopt the Steam machine. So this hardware initiative they're going with, they have the Steam Deck, which the Steam Deck has gained popularity over time, and I think that also helped the fact that the Nintendo Switch has done a lot of help with that, where Nintendo had introduced that hybrid console experience, and gamers had fallen in love with what Nintendo has done. Now that I can take my gaming console experience on the go anywhere and everywhere, and to continue that experience once I get home, dock it and play it on my TV. And I think Nintendo had made it easier for the Steam Deck to come in and say, hey, yes, Nintendo did it, but guess what? We're even better as far as power is concerned. And plus, it's PC. So it's getting more people into that PC territory, get used to that PC territory, because now you have this handheld experience, but now you're tapping into the Steam ecosystem. So that was a smart move. And then now you have the new Steam controller, which I would say that Steam controller looks pretty awesome. And the fact is that the Steam controller also interacts with the Steam Deck. And then the Steam controller not only interact with the Steam Deck, is also the main form of control and play that you can use for your Steam machine. Now, the thing about the Steam machine, as I said, is a PC console hybrid, is the fact is that you can also connect your mouse and keyboard to it. So if you guys are a PC gamer or you love that mouse and keyboard experience, you can also use that on your Steam Deck. But if you're a console player, you can just use the Steam Deck controller, and all those PC games that's found on the Steam platform can also utilize the Steam controller natively, which is also awesome. So it really has me thinking, like, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, they better keep their eyes open. They got to look out. And what adds the icing on the cake is the fact is that they finally decided to say, hey, now let's incorporate our VR headset to this. And I've said it time and time again. I'm a big proponent, a big fan of VR. I'm an advocate for VR. I have the Meta Quest 2, 3. I had the Meta Quest Rift S. And I enjoy VR. I think, and the only reason why VR hasn't been adopted is because VR is more so left in the indie space. And I think in order for VR to be adopted, that we need more first-party studios, not just first-party studios, but AAA studios creating VR experiences. I think Capcom did a good job with the Resident Evil games being for the PSVR. And the problem is that when it comes to VR, the VR headset itself is just for VR experiences. In order to get people to be able to adopt VR has to be a part of their life. It has to be part of everything that they do. Because people don't want to just spend their money just to play VR and then that's it. Then it's just wasted hardware. You just spend a couple $100 or sometimes even $1,000 headset that's just for just VR things. But if you're able to incorporate your headset, which they're doing with their initiative, where their headset, you're allowed to play all your Steam machine games on the headset, which means I can sit on my sofa, sit on my bed, have my headset on, and play my entire library, my Steam library, on that headset. I'm going to utilize it more. I'm going to do more things on that headset. And I think that's where Sony has failed with their VR headset, because they just create that VR headset and they do nothing with it. Every once in a while, a new title will come out, and that's it. It's just there, and people buy it, and it's super expensive, but the VR headset is just there. It just sits there and collect dust. But if you're able to get that VR headset to interact with everything within the ecosystem itself, then it would have more uses. More people will be more willing to adopt a VR headset. And I think that this is a good plan, that they were able to take all their hardwares and have all their hardwares interconnect with one another to be able to create the experiences that they're trying to create with this new Steam hardware initiative. And this looked quite interesting. And like I said before, I'm not a digital guy, but they made this hardware look very attractive to someone like me. I have a PC, gaming PC. I don't really game on it much. I'm just a console person. I love that console experience. It's just something about having physical media in my hand and having a designated controller for that console that represents that console and play on my big screen television. And yeah, I know you can play your PC games on the big screen television, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. But what I'm trying to say is they made it more attractive to me. Now we have a PC in a form of a console, and it has its own dedicated controller, and I just pop it onto my television screen. And I love VR headsets, and now you're telling me that I can play all of my games on their VR headset. I will buy that VR headset. I will definitely buy that VR headset. So now you made it look much more attractive to me. They totally did. And this is something that I'm looking out for now, because then not only that, you could personalize the Steam machine as well with the faceplates. You can swap in and out the faceplates, similar to how the Xbox 360 was back in the day with the faceplates. So now you can make it much more personable. But the fact is that now that Steam has pretty much become much more of a household name now. I think also COVID had a lot to do with it, with everybody being shut in and people are looking for their gaming experiences. But I think that the Steam machine itself is going to be much more adoptable, for the fact is that gaming has become much more expensive. It's become much more of a luxury than a hobby, and gamers want to get good deals on games and be able to play everything in all their games in one place. And I think with the Steam sales, the Steam deals and stuff like that, I think people are going to pick this up and run away with this. I don't know what to say right now. The gaming landscape had just got interesting, because now if you look at it, it makes me go back to think about what Sarah Bond, what Microsoft and them are saying. Like, they seen this. They seen the writing on the walls. They seen this, and they're trying to get ahead of it. So in a sense, when you look at their initiative where they have all four of their peripherals or all four of their products interacting with each other, isn't it kind of like the same in a sense with the Xbox, where everything is an Xbox, where they want Xbox to be able to connect and interact with all forms of devices, but Steam is more so doing it within their ecosystem itself. So it's quite interesting about the philosophies of Microsoft and the philosophy of Steam and what they're doing. And the fact is that, yes, it's looking like physical media is, especially if Steam itself, with the Steam machine, if it gets truly adopted from normies and casual gamers or gamers who just want a console experience, if this picks up, physical media is going to die even faster. Like, it's going to die even faster. Like I said, Steam is one of the largest gaming platforms that gamers game on at this point. And now that you have a dedicated box for Steam, and now it has me thinking. And remember the rumors of Steam could possibly be on the next Xbox? But now that we have the Steam machine, would Steam want that? Now that begs that question too. So now the landscape looks completely different. How would Nintendo respond? How would Sony respond? Will Sony now, with their next console, would that be a PC console hybrid? What is going on? Like I'm really intrigued now. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Steam, Valve, you guys have really truly convinced me just now. I'm not a digital guy, but the fact is that you made that Steam box that attractive, like as a console controller. And as I said before, I'm a VR guy. And now I'm able to take my library and play that library on a VR headset. That looks so damn attractive. Now the question is the pricing. I think the pricing for next generation is going to be the most important thing to all this. If Steam happens to be the cheaper, way to get into next generation gaming, or to get into this new era of gaming, Steam is going to dominate. It's going to be crazy. Like my mind is just blowing right now. Like I'm not gonna lie, this is interesting. This is something I'm gonna keep an eye out on. But I definitely hear your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about all this with the Steam hardware initiative, with the Steam deck, the Steam controller, the Steam machine, and also the Steam headset, VR headset. What do you think about all this? Do you think this is just a gimmick? Do you think this is not going to catch on? Do you think Steam is going to be an actual competitor to Microsoft and Nintendo and Sony? Do you think that we need this competition in order for them, for these developers and these companies to step their game up? So I definitely hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.